So what if you are a Gen Z and you hate writing? I got you covered. Today I'll go through techniques you can do in order to journal like a pro, almost without touching a pen or a pencil. My name's Adam and I'm into writing seriously for the past 17 years. Yeah, I know to some it may seem boring, but to billionaires like J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter series, and millionaires like John Grisham, author of multiple best-selling thrillers, journaling was where their career started. Also, by putting your thoughts down into sentences and into words on paper or into a text app of your choice, you are improving neuron connections in your brain, which makes your brain healthier and way more avert to stress than average Joe. First of all, rule of thumb. If you can write, voice it. Download a free voice recording app on your phone and start talking to it as if you're talking to a really chill therapist. You don't have to do it in public too. Heck, you don't even have to post anywhere. Just keep it all in a dedicated Google Drive where none but you have access to it. Second type, pseudo journaling we're going to cover is bullet points, or more commonly known, lists. Back in the day when I lived in the south of Israel amid of unfolding military actions few miles from my habitat, I almost lost my mind. So in order to keep sane, I kept lists, to-do lists, for everything. I downloaded this free to-do app on my phone and put its widget on my screen. I typed at most 5 bullet points actions for every several hours segments to be active during the day, and you know what? It worked. I kept being productive, accomplishing tasks, and keeping stress levels down. Most importantly, I kept my sanity in check. Now, although journaling should be words, if you are more of a visual doodler, you can journal in comics. It doesn't have to be Stan Lee's Marvel or DC, but doodling to increase your focus is totally legit practice used by many. The other question is that you would need a tablet for it, or a set of pencils and notebooks for it wherever you go, but it's up to you. I wouldn't think twice and would go for the most budgeted solution that suits your comfort. As you can see, there are plenty of ways to journal or list or doodle your way out of stress, depression, confusion, etc. I'm the real-world example that you can regain mental aptitude through one of these activities. Life is not all unicorns and rainbows. Crisis happens, wars start, eviction happens, illness happens, toxic relationships happen, parents die, the list goes on, but it doesn't mean there is no way out of the matrix. It may sound cheesy, but the real way out is the way in, way inside of you, your fears, your emotions, your real unseen self. Once you find peace within, you will find peace without. Life is an open field to this kind of people. You will be capable of amazing things like J.K. Rowling, John Grisham, or me, for instance. It all starts with scribbling a few words down that express your state of now and your state of where you want to be. The action takers get rewarded, so show up and be gratified. I personally ordered this little notebooks, I'll show you in a moment, this kind, from AliExpress, and fill them out with poetry, lists, bullet points, ideas, quotes, and everything else I find meaningful and worth writing down. After filling one of those from cover to cover, I read it and type real value bits. Afterwards, I go to lulu.com and publish if I want to. Of course, there is a process of editing and cover design, but it shouldn't be covered in this video. Comment down so if you do find value in me covering those in separate videos. However, it's all a great bonus. The most valuable part is in writing something in the first place. People wander around with thousands of thoughts, they stumble and repeat the same thought patterns the inner critique or the karmic ancestors produced. There is a way out of all of it, and this way is called journaling. There is plenty of science behind this, backed by research. By most common ones go back to Ivy League universities like Harvard and Yale. They say in plain words that we should write and what we think in order to learn to think what we write. After over a decade and a half of writing books and poetry, I can say that it is absolutely true. By the way, if you'd like to sharpen your mind with a 5-minute journal, just check a link in my description. Maybe it will help you out. It's free. Just check it out. You don't have to be the next Shakespeare or best-selling author, but you should be able to express yourself coherently. If you achieve that, you are golden. It takes time to develop a habit, 90 days to be exact. That's how long it takes to pick or drop a habit. If you follow the simple steps of carrying a tiny notebook with you or putting a text app icon on your first screen of your phone, you are halfway there. Because surroundings and atmospheres set the tone for your well-being. It sets the tone for your actions. You have to be legit with your true self. Because if you can be legit with yourself, who can be? Small victories accumulate and compound into a great result. If you improve your journaling system only by 1% every day, you'd improve by 365% by the end of the present year. It takes a courage to pick a good habit, but it will pass on to the future generations that come after you. Because our habits and all we do is documented is in our genes, our DNA. So here you go, fellow YouTubers. One note a day makes your life a fair play. It may seem silly or boring at first, but once you treat it all like a game, it becomes fun and easy to endure. Be kind to yourself and do journaling for 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't promise you'll become the next J.K. Rowling, but what I can promise is that you will see positive change in your life. Simple steps towards freedom of self, freedom from stress, freedom from confusion. It is easy to give up. It takes courage to endure, and the key to this endurance are your 15 minutes of your journaling every day. You can do it first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. You can do it in a coffee break or when waiting for a meeting. Either way, there are many moments that could be invested in this life-changing skill. Just pick a moment that suits you best and make a routine out of it. It's that easy. Easy doesn't mean simple, but if you make a story out of it, you're too melodramatic. The real way is to look inside and fall in love with your inner self and then write what they have to say. People love honesty to a certain degree, so you'll be able to polish that in you to be more bearable, more balanced, and way more precise with what you really mean to say. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.